content creation starter kit, by the way. So how many people here are aware of creator mode on LinkedIn? Never heard of it, right? So they released what's called creator mode because they realized people weren't using LinkedIn. They weren't there, right? It's meant to be the world's largest networking event, but they can't get people to show up. Why? Because there's no programming, right? There's nothing. It's become this empty void platform that has random information on it that most people don't relate to, right? And the reason they did that, and all other social platforms are actually changing at the same time, is all because of this app called TikTok. Because TikTok's for kids, right? 51% of users on TikTok are now 40 plus. Right? So it stopped being a kids app a while ago. But what TikTok did was every social platform out there had been a relationship-based platform. Meaning I'm connected to Jim, I'm connected to Seth, and therefore the platform assumes that I want to be connected to other people that are connected with you because there's got to be more mutual connections, right? Which theoretically is fantastic. And it worked for years with Facebook. We got to see our cousin's wedding photos that we hadn't talked to in 20 years, whatever it was. TikTok said, we don't care who you're connected to. We couldn't care less about your personal network, your friends, your whatever. We care about giving you more of the content you consume, right? So it became a 100% interest-based platform. So what LinkedIn is trying to do, what Facebook is trying to do, what Instagram is trying to do is get away from the connection-based platform model and go into the interest-based platform, which is why you're seeing things like creator mode on LinkedIn because they are trying to get more creators to come on there and create more content so they can show more of the content you're interested in seeing on that platform rather than just your connections. So LinkedIn is about to go through a massive change over the next 6 months, like massive. It's like the tip of the iceberg is there now. And same thing with Instagram, same thing with Facebook. You're going to start seeing all of these platforms change pretty drastically. Instagram is getting some pushback from their users on becoming, an interest-based versus a connection-based. And they're also pushing video. But that is really what every platform is going to be pushing is video format. You are going to be seeing probably 80 to 90% Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. LinkedIn is going to start heavily prioritizing video content because that is where the consumption is. Think about how these platforms make money, right? They need you to stay on the application or stay on the platform in order for them to make money. If you aren't using it, they can't convince advertisers to be there. So TikTok, for example, has the average user spends something like an hour and 10 minutes a day on TikTok. Right? TikTok is replacing television. People will now sit down on their phone and watch TikTok instead of watching some random TV show. And it's only going to get worse or better, depending on how you look at it, because it's going to get worse as far as view time. It's going to get better as far as content. All right, so I just read a statistic, or a number, I should say. It wasn't even a statistic. 17.6 million hours are spent on Instagram daily. Right? Per day, there are 17.6 million users watching Reels on Instagram. Does anybody know how many people watch CNN on a daily basis? Does anybody know what their viewership is? Right? Prime time is less than 1 million people. All right, so if 1 million people watch 2 primetime shows, that's 2 million hours. That's an eighth of what Instagram gets over a 24-hour period. How much do you think you'll spend advertising on CNN? Right? It's a lot, right? How much does it cost you to record a 30-second TikTok video and put it up? Next to nothing, right?
And I get to showcase my dance moves.
Yeah, you get to showcase your dance moves. I haven't seen a single dancer on TikTok since I joined it 6 months ago. Right, but that's the misconception, for example, with TikTok, is that it's all dance videos. It's all random stuff. But 99% of the content that gets served to me on TikTok, for example, because you got to remember, it's an interest-based platform, is all marketing and business related. Right? I get Simon Sinek, I get Tony Robbins, I get, what's this, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. Like, he shows up on my TikTok on a regular basis. And he's one of those guys that I love to hate or hate to love, like, depending on how you look at it. But those are the types of people that come across my TikTok all the time. I get a bunch of smaller creators or smaller, like, unknown people as well. And some of them have, like, phenomenal content. Right? I have one guy that specializes in LinkedIn content. He creates LinkedIn content for businesses. But he shows up on my TikTok and I've never seen him on LinkedIn. And I've actually recommended him for someone to use him for LinkedIn for their content because of his videos on TikTok. Same thing, Reels, you're gonna start seeing the same trend. Facebook, gonna start seeing the same trend. LinkedIn, I will put money on it in 6 months. At least 50% of what you see on your feed when you open it is going to be short format or some type of video content. And it's not going to be from the big brand names. It's going to be from smaller entities that are in your industry. Right? It's not going to be some massive training company. Right? It's going to be Joe's Sales Training that's in Montgomeryville. What that also means is those creators may not even be on this platform today. They might be there in a month. They might be there in 2 months. So the sooner you get on it, the more likely you are to be that company that shows up. Because once it turns more and more interest-based, it's going to be shown to people that are interested in what you do. Right? So who are you trying to be in front of? People that are interested in what it is that you do? I'll give you guys an example. One of the guys that we consulted with does Medicare, Medicaid, right? And we told him, start doing TikTok. Why would I do TikTok? So he did TikTok for like 30 days, got some followers, did another 30 days, got some more followers, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna start taking it seriously. So he started doing pretty massively, posting 2-3 times a day, recorded a couple of long format videos, dropped those on YouTube, dropped it on his website. And then the one day I walk in to another networking group where he's as well. And you know when someone is like itching to talk to you, right? So he kept waiting, he kept waiting, he kept waiting. And then finally he comes over and he goes, look. And I'm like, what? He's like, I had a video hit 500,000 views with 7,000 saves, 4,000 shares. He's like, I can't tell you how many emails I have waiting for me at my office right now because this all happened in 24 hours. He's going to be busy for 6 to 8 weeks just getting back to people from one single video. Right? Did he have to create 60 of them? Yes. Okay? But if you could create 60 videos that take you 2 or 3 hours to do, would that be worth being busy following up with people for 6 weeks for? Right? Because we go to networking events, spend 2 hours, and we're like, met 2 new people today. So we started doing TikTok, for example, and a lot of times, just for shits and giggles, I will schedule videos to go live the moment I walk into a networking event. Because I want to see the difference between what is my reach from a TikTok video at the same time I'm at one of these events. And inevitably, I'll walk into a room, let's say there's 60 people at the networking event. My video on TikTok will reach approximately 1,000 to 1,500 people in the same time I'm in that networking event. So if you do the math and I have a 20% view through rate, meaning 20% of people watch the entire video, and let's call it a minute-long video, that still means that 200 people got to hear a minute of what I had to say, and many of them actually then subscribed to hear more of what I have to say. Think about the numbers in a networking event. Do they come anywhere near that? No? So it's really just taking what you're doing, because you're already doing this, right? Every networking event you go to, every conversation you have, everything you do is content driven. You're just driving the content one-on-one. Right? Think about how many times you've said the same thing to a different person. Why isn't that a video? Right? Well, I have my elevator pitch. My favorite when people start with it is, oh, but I never know what to say. Every week you stand up and give a 30-second, don't you? So you never know what to say, but you still get up and do it? Yeah, but I couldn't do that daily. No, you can, trust me. Because the more of it you do, the easier it becomes. Because now all of a sudden you start getting feedback. Now you start getting questions, right? So just like any normal conversation, if you're trying to keep it going by yourself, you kind of feel like you're just rambling, but the moment the person asks a question, you're like, God, now I can talk about something else, right? But it keeps the conversation going. That's how a lot of this stuff works. And that's what I think LinkedIn is going to turn into as well. Because if you look at engagement on LinkedIn, just when you get back, pop open your LinkedIn, even if you haven't been on there in months, and just scroll and look at the comments and reactions on every post type as you go through there. Watch the difference between that first video you see and everything that's before and after it. See if there's a noticeable difference between the engagement rate of videos versus written content. Because the numbers are astronomical as far as interaction, commenting, and all that stuff. And I always tell people when they start with this stuff, views don't generate business, but they're a start. Right? Views is exposure. Why do you go to a networking event that you've never been to before? First of all, it's the exposure, right? Secondly, it's to hopefully communicate with someone on some level. That's what the comment section is. You want someone to remember your name or your information, you hand them a business card. That's what a save is. You want them to tell someone about having met you and what you do? That's a share. Online marketing, especially through the social media channels nowadays, is no different than massive networking events, except the numbers have such an astronomical higher rate on everything that it's often hard to even wrap your head around it. Is that a minute left?
No.
Oh.
I'm not counting.
It's 13:44. I'm recording it, so I know. But that's the thing, and then it's the compounding effect, right? Think about when you get up and you introduce yourself and you tell people what you do, right? Imagine if that could stay in this room, so everybody that comes through this room had the potential of seeing that, whether you're here or not. You had to do it once. That was it. And then it sits there. So we went from producing nominal content to you don't even want to know how much content we put out in the last 30 days. Because I just did the math this morning. And it's sickening. I don't even know how we managed to do it. But the thing was, it was also mind-boggling to me how much content we actually generated over the last 30 days. And it didn't seem like it was all that much. It's a couple of recording sessions twice a week. It's recording stuff like this, because this is going to go online. This is going to get cut up into pieces and used over multiple platforms. Right? But then you have that compounding effect.
So, Gummy, I remember when you were prior to Karen being part of the group, when TikTok first came out and how it was the big, I forget your exact words, but it was the biggest invasion of privacy in the history of any app ever.
Yes.
And could never install it on your phone, and here you are 6 months later promoting the crap out of it. So what did you see, or what
It
did you
is.
experiment that like you couldn't deny?
So the invasion of privacy really hasn't changed. It is still one of the largest invasion of privacy ever, right? Most of these social networks are the same way. TikTok was like obscene when it came to it. So here's my issue with it is I give up privacy all the time. So I have a dedicated phone. I have a dedicated everything that I use for all the TikTok stuff, right? None of the business stuff runs on my personal cell phone. We run it on tablets, computers, anything that is work related. Most of my personal devices don't get connected. But am I not going to use it for business purposes because of an invasion of privacy? Google and Apple are doing the same thing. Maybe not on as, well, Apple actually is pretty bad too. But it's a matter of at what point am I willing to give up some of that privacy for all the business benefits that come with it. When it first came out, hands down, no, I wasn't interested, especially on a personal level. From a business level, totally different ballgame. And that's not even to talk about the ad platforms that are on these. Like, you can run ads on these platforms in addition to your actual social stuff. Like, you don't even have to make the videos. You could simply run ads and still get an obscene amount of exposure for a very low dollar amount.
Have you been able to track what it translates, I'm sure this isn't easy, to like real dollars in sales and new business?
So we tracked the last 30 days because we said the first 45 days, we're just going to do it. The results don't matter because it takes time to build it, and then we're going to start measuring. So I'll give an example for this month. What month? We're in September, right?
Yeah.
I have sent out what is an estimated, not estimated. So I have sent out quotes for $48,000 this month alone. That doesn't account for reoccurring business these people might do. On any given month, we would be sending out this time maybe half that. So I had a couple of the people that work with me go, you need to slow down. Like, we're having a hard time keeping up. As far as closed business goes, we close probably 30 to 40% of the business that we quote that comes through the social media platform because they already know us, right? Like, we've already built the relationship with them. We just don't know it yet. They know it. I don't. Because they're a number. They're a watcher, they're a like, they're a commenter. So unless I know who they are, like on TikTok, 90% of the people are commenting anonymously. So I don't know when they shoot me an email or call me or whatever that they're necessarily, user 078912 whatever that commented on 28 of our videos.
Didn't you say how many, like when that first video went viral for you, you didn't even mention it, how many resumes did you get?
Oh yeah. So it's funny because most people were struggling finding people. We put out a video that talks about our company culture, and I think I got something like 38 job applications in the first 24 hours, and I'm still getting them. Like, that video is still being shown. That went up 60 days ago. So I don't know, I probably have 60 or 70 job applications right now for people that want to work with us, while everybody else is struggling finding people.
Yeah, I think that's very good.
Like, that's, so there are so many things that, what?
I need to do that.
Yeah, right. But this is the thing is, what video marketing and why this is taking off as much as it has is because it is allowing to build personal relationships, right? When someone comments, answer them, right? When someone mentions you, answer them, right? You would do that at a networking event, wouldn't you? Right? If I go, yeah, so Bob over there, would you just go, right? No, you'd be like, hey, what's up? But you don't do it on social media. You don't do it on LinkedIn. You don't do it on any of these places. It's obvious when you put it in the situation you're used to. Literally translate that to the online world. It is a social platform. Right? Is this a social event? Just happens to be a business event? What's the difference?
Am I the only one that's completely overstimulated by, it shuts my brain down when I go on any of my feeds now and I see all it is a video for something to watch. It's
It's hard for me to,
overstimulating.
it's hard for me to find a non-video content.
I know,
Yes.
I would rather
Yep.
just see the picture of my family
Correct.
hiking.
Correct.
So am I the only one that feels
No.
like this
So
is
there
too
is
much?
there is that group. And remember I said earlier there's some pushback on Instagram is because there is a certain audience that is exactly that. But I want it to be a connection platform. I want to see my family hiking whatever it is. The reality is these companies are in business to make money. If Instagram is losing users to TikTok, because TikTok has, I think Instagram averages I think it's 17 minutes a day, because you're flipping through photos. It doesn't take long. On TikTok, there are 3 to 4 minute videos, or 30 seconds, and then you rewatch it because it was funny. All right, so by default, you're going to get, all they have to do is watch 5 videos and they have all of Instagram's watch time or usage time for that day. You think Meta is just going to sit back and go, yeah, let the users go spend time on TikTok, because then the advertisers can go there too. That's going to be fantastic. So the minority that's overstimulated is going to lose out. And it was interesting because I just heard someone say yesterday that he thinks there is a gap forming in the market for social media that is going to be able to go back to being the original Facebook, because that connection-based, it will never be the size of a TikTok or a Meta, but you could probably create, right now, there's an opportunity to create a social platform that is going to be focused more on that and built around that. It's just going to have a limited reach, at least for now.
Coke Classic, huh?
Pretty much.
And look at the level of stimulus that the younger generation. Like my kids will be like watching a movie with a friend on FaceTime while playing a game with
Yes.
them at the same time. Right?
So-
That's why there's a million things going on and they're like, I'm bored.
So, yeah, I'm just going to wrap it. You had a question, and then I'm going to wrap it up. What was your question?
Oh no, and I think I'm a little younger, so I go on TikTok a lot, but I think there's a misconception that TikTok is the dances or the things like that. But if I replaced my toilet a few weeks ago, I just went on TikTok and saw how to do it. I just
Correct.
didn't, replace toilets. So then I knew how to do it. I went out, got the stuff,
Yes.
did it. I went and had to rip out my walls.
So the stuff you used to do on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because it's so much quicker, and
Yes.
I had to we make wings every weekend, and we wanted to do a new sauce, so I just typed in
Yeah.
chicken wing sauce
Yes.
on TikTok, and then I got the recipe. Exactly
So
how we made it.
there is data coming out of China right now. Baidu lost 43% of its searches to TikTok. And Baidu is the Google of China. Lost 43% of its searches this year. TikTok is becoming a search engine, not a social network. It's going to be both.
Yeah, when I need yesterday for practice, I needed 2 more drills, and I couldn't think of them. I literally
You went to TikTok, basketball drills. Yep.
I had them.
Yep.
And that was during practice.
Yes.
So you can
It's
get
be-
literally anything you want.
Yes.
I will also say its algorithm is bar none the best out there. It feeds you the content.
That's just because I know what shows up on yours.
Always flushing.
Yeah.
Nothing X-rated. Fail, stuff like that.
No, but if you watch 2 videos, I watched 2 videos accidentally on a dog abandoned on the side of the road.
Mhm.
So then for 2 weeks, I was on abandoned shelter dog animal TikTok.
Right.
So
Yes.
I had to type in other things in the search bar.
Yes.
And to keep putting the same thing in just so I could get out of that TikTok.
Yes.
And they could redirect me.
Yes.
So I don't have to look at half-dying dogs.
People dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes.
I don't wanna see this.
So
Easily redirect.
let me just tell you, do not search for Dr. Pimple Popper on TikTok, because you will be flooded with those, because apparently there's a Dr. Pimple Popper in every country now. So you start getting all the international videos too. Just
One last question. So originally TikTok was very short form and quick.
Yes.
You mentioned long form. I
They're-
absolutely see it.
they are up to 10-minute videos now. They are literally competing with YouTube. Like there's no and if or buts. In fact, they're doing so much so that YouTube has now launched the same type of ad sharing program for their shorts as they have for their primary videos. So YouTube is scared. YouTube is reacting to TikTok, finally. Because they used to be, YouTube was like, well, we own the long format video game. Not anymore. You're losing the shorts game, so you're going to be losing the long game probably as well. Yes, that is going to be one of those things. You're going to see a drastic improvement in that as well, because they understand that's where it starts, and then you go from there.